These severe weather events are becoming more and more frequent. Are you going to keep going with short-term responses like this payment, or are you going to start looking at more long-term solutions to this problem?
Well, we are looking at long-term solutions. My government has changed Australia's position on climate change from day one. For example, what we know is that Australia has always been subject of floods, of bushfires, but we know that the science told us that if we continued to not take action globally on climate change, then these events, extreme weather events, would be more often and more intense. And what we're seeing, unfortunately, is that play out. The people of the Hawkesbury-Richmond area have now had 4 flooding events in the last 18 months. Prior to that, they were impacted by bushfires. That's why my government is acting. I've got to say as well, the New South Wales government are acting as well on changing the energy mix in this state. But what we know is that no state and no nation can act by itself. It's one of the reasons why I've been out there engaging in the need to lift up global action. But Australia needs to be a part of that. We know that unless we do that, the science, whether it be at the IPCC level or whether it be the CSIRO or our Australian scientists, we've been warned about this. In addition to that, of course, we need to look at issues like mitigation. That's why we've changed the money that was put in a bank account and not spent, the $4 billion. We've said that we want to look at areas of disaster mitigation and that we'll make that money available for projects each and every year to make sure that we're preparing for the changes in weather patterns and what that means for disasters, whether it be lifting levies, whether it be other action as well. We've expressed concern in the past that money, that $4 billion became $4.8 billion because it was not invested. My government have indicated that we will take action on that. When Parliament sits in July, we'll have a range of measures as well looking at those issues, and I want to work with state and territory governments from across the political spectrum to make sure that in terms of infrastructure investment that it occurs in ways that take into account the fact that we do need to respond and we do need to prepare.
Mitigation, all of them.
One at a time, one at a time.
Do you have any concerns about the impact that's having on the job the ADF is supposed to do? So things like training, for example. It doesn't suggest that we need a professional full-time agency like the SES, a professional to start responding to these crises.
Well, I believe that the ADF are responding, and I have complete confidence in them and in Major General Tomo's leadership. And I was in El Minad base about 36 hours ago in the UAE, and there I spoke to ADF personnel who had helped with the Lismore floods. They were proud of the effort that they did. Our ADF personnel are here to respond to the needs of Australia, and they respond remarkably well every time. They're diligent, they bring capacity, and I believe as well that it brings confidence to people when they see our ADF personnel helping out, and I just thank each and every one of them.